I think there's always something to build on. No moral victories whatsoever, but I think regardless of result, week to week, there's a process, and more time you spend around anyone, you're going to get more continuity, and that's, QB to receiver, that's QB to running back, that's us as a whole unit coming together really, and getting comfortable with, our unit.
What if I told you the quarterback everyone hyped up just...
What if I told you the quarterback everyone couldn't stop hyping just turned his big debut into a straight-up blooper reel? The guy had the whole world watching and somehow managed to hand Shedeur Sanders the golden ticket he's been praying for. Dillon Gabriel's first game went downhill faster than a shopping cart flying down a San Francisco hill. No brakes, no control, just pure chaos. And before the final whistle even blew, the internet had already started rewriting the entire Heisman race like it was a comedy script gone wrong. This isn't just football anymore. This is part stand-up special, part prophecy, and all-out Shedeur-level madness. Hit that subscribe button if you're loving this mess, because it finally happened. The hype train crashed head first. The crowd went from roaring to groaning in record time, and the internet, they were ruthless. Dillon Gabriel's grand debut turned into a full-blown tutorial on how to ruin expectations live on national TV.
Well, guys, man, I'm here to tell you, man, watching that game this morning against my Minnesota Vikings when Dillon Gabriel took the field, like I stated to you guys, Cleveland Browns defense is an elite defense. They was the #1 rated defense coming into the day's game. And Cleveland Brown had a lot of possessions on the short side of the field. You look at the first touchdown that Dillon Gabriel threw. Judkins, Cleveland's running back, was killing us, gashing us, doing all the garbage work. Then you got down there to the 3-yard line, and Dillon Gabriel threw a 3-yard touchdown to Fanning.
You could literally feel the stadium realizing all at once that this so-called new era they were promised was just the same old story, only with more interceptions, less confidence, and way too many highlight reels for the wrong reasons. And those memes, they didn't even wait for halftime. They were spawning faster than mosquitoes at a backyard cookout. Within minutes, timelines were flooded, group chats were buzzing, and one name started to glow brighter than all the rest, Shedeur Sanders. Because if you've been following this wild soap opera called college football, you already know the script. Someone gets hyped up, the media crowns them the next legend, and before they can even finish celebrating, boom, they fumble the ball and the storyline in one go. This time, it wasn't just a bad night. Dillon Gabriel was the headline. Every single pregame prediction.
Now, you're going to hear the analysts. They're going to tell you Dillon Gabriel did a great job. He handled the team well. And those of us that watched the game, we're not going to knock his back in, but we are going to tell the truth. Dillon Gabriel did exactly what he was told to do. Now, whether or not you think that was good or not, that's left to see. But what we can tell you is that the stats don't lie. They don't have opinions.
Every shiny "he's the guy" segment, all of it aged like milk left out in the desert sun. You could literally see fans in the stands blinking in disbelief, trying to process how their dream debut just turned into a live documentary called How to Lose a Fan Base in 4 Quarters. It was tragic, hilarious, and a little poetic all at once. Dillon Gabriel spent weeks being painted as the chosen one, the golden boy who was supposed to make defenses cry, have analysts swooning, and rewrite highlight reels for a decade. Instead, he made every defensive coordinator in the country look like they deserved a promotion. You know it's bad when opposing fan bases start thanking you online for the laughs. The memes were brutal, the jokes were endless, and the disappointment was loud. And meanwhile, somewhere in Colorado,
We're going to break down everything that we want to see in this video, how it affects Dillon Gabriel going forward. Does it affect Shedeur Sanders at all? Maybe, maybe not. We did hear today, actually, that Shedeur Sanders will play at some point this season. They expect him to. Thought there was a lot of inconsistencies with Dillon Gabriel. A lot of overthrown balls, maybe some underthrown balls, right? Just a lot of mix-up I just wasn't sure. So we're going to...
Shedeur Sanders was probably chilling back, grinning like a man who just got handed the keys to the kingdom without even breaking a sweat. Because when Dillon face-planted, Shedeur's spotlight exploded tenfold. Suddenly, every sports show that had already moved on from Shedeur came crawling back, replaying his highlight reels, breaking down his stats, and reminding the world that this dude doesn't just talk, he delivers. But let's rewind for a second. Dillon Gabriel's hype didn't appear out of nowhere. It was manufactured. The media built it, marketed it, and sold it like the next Marvel sequel. Analysts were giving glowing reviews before the man even took a single snap. They were convinced this was the quarterback who'd redefine the game, who'd usher in a brand new era. And in a way, he did, just not the one they expected. Dillon didn't redefine quarterbacking, he redefined how fast public opinion can crash and burn. His debut turned into a masterclass in underperformance, the kind you study when you want to learn what not to do.
Details come down to it, you know, and I think in any game you're going to want 45 plays back. Of course, the result will feel different, and maybe your 45 plays may feel different, but you know that's the game we live and play in. So, got to be better in those 4 to 5 plays is what and why you continue to work as hard as you do.
Dillon, there were a number of 3 or 4 throws where it looked like you and the receiver were not on the same page. Were those missing?
It wasn't not on the same page. That's me on my end, trying to be smart in certain situations, and you know we get cloud and get want to make an answer there.
Even the commentators were struggling, running out of polite word, like how many times can you say tough start before it just sounds like a roast? Man, that game plan looked like it was scribbled on a napkin during somebody's lunch break. Every drive fizzled out faster than a cheap sparkler in the rain, and you could feel the energy in that stadium drain with each failed play. The crowd went from hopeful cheers to straight-up horror. You could literally see all 5 stages of football grief happening in real time. Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance, all before halftime. Meanwhile, social media went nuclear. Clips of Dillon's wild throws were turning into GIFs before the ball even hit the turf. The internet doesn't wait for mercy, and Dillon gave them a buffet of bloopers to feast on.
We're going right to Kevin Stefanski, and we're going to look at your playbook. And the 2 Kevins today, in the bowl of the Kevins that coach for both teams, one Kevin's playbook looked a certain way with a backup journeyman quarterback named Carson Wentz, whose arm was hurt, and a journeyman back, and 3 different offensive linemen, right? 60% of the offensive line is gone. But you know what they did? They found a way to creatively get Justin Jefferson to rock.
His name was trending for all the wrong reasons, while Shedeur's name was rising like a phoenix out of the algorithm ashes. Poetic justice served digital and hot, and that's when the whispers started flying everywhere. Does this mean it's finally Shedeur's turn? Because let's be real, he's been waiting for that door to open again. Every time another quarterback gets crowned the next big thing, Shedeur doesn't complain. He just sits there, polishing his stats and stacking wins like poker chips. He knows timing is everything, and when the spotlight swings back his way, it's not luck, it's precision. Dillon's meltdown didn't just open a door, it created a vacuum, and Shedeur's presence rushed in to fill it like it was meant to be. It's crazy how fast narratives flip in this game. Just last week, people were asking if Shedeur could keep up with the new wave. Now, that new wave looks like it just crashed into a rock and sank straight to the bottom. Meanwhile, Shedeur's sitting back calm and confident and maybe even a little amused, because while everyone else is tripping over their own hype,
Dillon Gabriel was 19 for 33 in terms of completions. He had 2 touchdowns, an interception. He did get sacked, and he did throw the ball away quite a bit. But he also does a lot of what I call this tippy paws kind of football. He doesn't do a lot of long throwing because he can't. He's short. He can't see over the line. And his accuracy in throwing long range, it's not there.
he's been doing what he always does, staying consistent, efficient, and dangerous. That kind of calm doesn't come from talk, it comes from knowing. The thing about Shedeur is that his confidence isn't just attitude, it's evidence. It's built from every test he's passed, every critic he's silenced, every game he's dominated. He's not trying to prove he belongs, he already has. Dillon Gabriel had a marketing campaign, but Shedeur Sanders, he's got a resume that speaks for itself. You can feel the whole tide turning, like the crowd itself just switched sides mid-game. The same folks who were ready to crown Dillon Gabriel as the next superstar are now jumping ship faster than a fair-weather fan in the fourth quarter. Suddenly, everybody's remembering that Shedeur's numbers aren't just good, they're elite. His pocket awareness, surgical, his poise under pressure, straight out of a video game highlight reel. And as the replays keep looping Dillon's lowlights on every sports channel, fans can't help but imagine what Shedeur would have done in that same moment. Spoiler alert, it definitely wouldn't involve throwing the ball directly to the other team. By halftime, the entire narrative had flipped upside down. It wasn't even about Dillon anymore. It was about the guy who wasn't on the field. That's when you know the story's done and dusted. The irony is almost poetic. All off-season, people were busy arguing if Shedeur Sanders was ready for the big stage. And meanwhile, Dillon got his shot.
I told you so. I told you so. And the Minnesota Vikings was shooting, and they was gunning to beat Dillon Gabriel. So as you can see, Dillon Gabriel lost to the Minnesota Vikings. And what I can tell you, man, you can get this nigga all the balls. Yes, you get him all the turnovers, and he can't win. I tell you this, Joe Flacco would have won that game. Yes, he would have won that game with that many turnovers. They should have took Dillon out and then Flacco get back in. And well, Flacco just had too many turnovers. Yes, but at that time against that team. But yes, this one where the Cleveland Browns was up on turnovers, making Minnesota turn the ball over, and Dillon Gabriel come in and he can't drive down the field. I told you.
Only to melt faster than ice on a hot July sidewalk. It's almost karmic, like the football gods themselves decided to drop a reminder that hype doesn't equal skill, and swagger without execution is just noise. And then came the excuses, oh, they were rolling in thick and fast. Suddenly everyone's pointing fingers everywhere but at Dillon. It was the weather. It was the play calling. The O-line didn't protect him. At one point, you half expected someone to say, Mercury's in retrograde. Like, come on. The truth was standing right there in plain sight. Dillon Gabriel didn't just struggle. He flopped spectacularly. It was like watching a magic trick go horribly wrong, except the magician keeps smiling, insisting it's all part of the performance. You could practically see the realization hit him mid-game, that sinking look of, oh no, this isn't going how it was supposed to. It stopped going according to script real fast. Every throw got shakier, every glance to the sideline a little more desperate. You could literally watch the confidence leak out of him like air from a busted tire. The rhythm was gone, the swagger disappeared, and that cool, I've got this energy just evaporated under the bright stadium lights. Then came the look, that haunted, wide-eyed, how did this happen? Face every athlete praise never shows up on camera.
If you look at the way Dillon Gabriel played and the way that offense was constructed from Kevin Stefanski, Dillon Gabriel played like a robot. It was a lot of dip and dunks. It was a lot of rollouts and just throw the ball to the running back coming out of the backfield. It was a lot of opposite directions, just getting the ball out quick, dipping and dunk. But if you're really watching the game and you're watching Dillon Gabriel throw the ball down the field, he just doesn't have it. Anything that's past 15 yards, Dillon Gabriel don't have it. It's a lot of times that he was just throwing the ball and he had no control over the ball.
That's the moment when a game stops being a game and turns into a highlight reel of disaster. And Dillon Gabriel was starring in it live. And now, his stock is dropping faster than crypto in 2022. The man went from headline hero to trending meme overnight. The door's not just open for Shedeur, it's wide open and practically lined with red carpet. Every commentator, analyst, and fan scrolling through their feed is asking the same burning question, is it Shedeur's time now? Because let's be real, it's looking that way. Dillon was supposed to be the roadblock, the test, the guy everyone compared Shedeur to. But after that performance, that roadblock turned into a bright orange traffic cone. And Shedeur doesn't slow down for traffic cones. It's wild how fast momentum shifts in this game. One bad night and boom, the entire season's story gets rewritten. Dillon was supposed to be unstoppable, untouchable, and now he's trending under what went wrong. Meanwhile, In that perfect silence of doubt, Shedeur's name is shining brighter than ever before. It's like the football universe just hit the reset button, clearing the stage and putting him right at the top where he belongs. And the best part? Shedeur didn't even have to chase it. That's not his style. He doesn't beg for attention. He earns it. Every time the noise fades, every time the spotlight drifts, he pulls it back through pure skill. No gimmicks, no excuses, just cold precision and quiet domination. Shedeur doesn't need to go viral for bad plays. His highlights speak louder than any headline. The same hype machine that lifted Dillon Gabriel up is now dragging him down hard, while at the same time, it's boosting Shedeur straight into prime position. The energy shift is unreal, like watching a storm flip direction mid-blow. But here's the real kicker. This isn't just about one bad game, it's about what comes next. Dillon can try to bounce back, sure, but let's be honest, first impressions matter. And this one, brutal doesn't even begin to cover it. You don't get many chances to prove you belong, and when your debut ends up looking like an open audition for the other team's highlight reel, that trust...
Oh my God. 25 seconds left. Look at the win probability. Look at the win probability. Oh my God. Okay, I might as well just start recording the video now because it's about over 25 seconds. We're going to react to this last 25 seconds. Dillon Gabriel played, and I want to get this out. I want to give Dillon Gabriel a C plus B minus. C plus B minus, right? Now, I will say, luckily, because I know there's going to be a halftime clip in here where I talk about how the average, he did average more air yards, right? He did average more air yards.
Gone just like that. The crowd doesn't forget, and neither do the analysts. Meanwhile, Shedeur's just sitting steady, cool as ever, showing that preparation always beats potential. While Dillon's scrambling for answers, Shedeur's already locked in, proving that consistency is the real flex. So yeah, everyone's asking the question now, is it finally Shedeur's turn? Because at this point, the contrast couldn't be more dramatic. Dillon looked like he was chasing the game, while Shedeur plays like he's conducting it. Dillon's energy screamed panic, but Shedeur's presence whispers control. One man cracked under pressure, the other thrives on it. That's the difference between hype and heart. It's a reminder that football isn't just about how far you can throw. It's about what's going on upstairs. And right now, Shedeur's mindset looks like it's made of pure steel. He's not out here trying to prove something to the haters anymore. He's proving something to the believers, the ones who've watched him grow, adapt, and stay calm while others crumble under the same burning spotlight. And the thing is, people are finally waking up to it. You can feel the shift online in the stadiums, even on the talk shows that used to doubt him. Everyone's realizing that Shedeur Sanders isn't just another flashy name. He's the real deal, the quiet storm that's been building while everyone else was busy chasing clout. The same analysts who couldn't stop hyping Dillon a week ago are now backpedaling so fast they could qualify for track season. Suddenly, every conversation starts with, you know, maybe we underestimated Shedeur. Yeah, no kidding. Because the truth is, he's been putting in the work when nobody was watching. While others were out there promoting themselves, Shedeur was studying film, perfecting mechanics, and locking in on execution, like a pro who knows his time is coming.
I told you, the Cleveland Browns would not score 30 points this season. The only time you will see the Cleveland Browns score 30 points this season was Shedeur Sanders' preseason game. You go look at my first video before the first game. They would not. Yes, they practiced like they prayed. You've seen the preseason game. What was Dillon Gabriel's points on the preseason game? The man can only score 7 to 14 points. Same for Joe Flacco. They cannot put over 20. Yes, if they was expecting to win, they're not going to win too many games with 14 to 17 points. You can't score over 20 points. You're not going to be able to win no games that way. Yes, especially being in the AFC to compete with the Chiefs and everybody else, you can't. But we do know a person that did score 30, Shedeur Sanders. Yes, Shedeur does game winners because that where they had 17-21, and it was Cleveland's ball at the end, the last drive. They could have probably went down and scored. Yeah.
That's what separates him. Consistency. You never see him cracking under pressure or hiding behind excuses. He just shows up and performs like clockwork. And now that the spotlight's swinging back his way, the world's getting a reminder of why his name carries weight. The kid's got presence, not the loud look at me type, but that calm, commanding energy that makes everyone in the room pay attention without him saying a word. He doesn't need theatrics. His game is the statement. Every pass, every read, every touchdown is like punctuation in a sentence that says, "I'm built for this." It's wild to watch the turnaround. 1 week ago, Dillon was supposed to be the savior. Now the only saving happening is Shedeur rescuing the narrative. And the irony, he didn't have to lift a finger to do it. All he had to do was stay ready, and now the universe just handed him the perfect setup. Because in football, timing is everything. And Shedeur's timing, impeccable. He's not just walking through that open door, he's owning the whole hallway. So yeah, the message is loud and clear. The new era isn't coming, it's here. And Shedeur Sanders is already sitting at the throne, calm, confident, and completely unbothered. By this point, it's not even a debate anymore, it's a shift. The fans feel it, the media feels it, even the players whispering on the sidelines feel it. The moment Dillon stumbled, the energy in college football flipped like a light switch, and all roads started pointing straight towards Shedeur Sanders. What used to be speculation is now looking like destiny in real time. You can't fake this kind of momentum. It's earned, it's built, and it's unstoppable once it starts rolling. And let's be honest,
complimentary football when it comes to the Browns as we do our little post game here following the game in London where they lost to the Minnesota Vikings 21-17. Complimentary football. Well, normally you would think that's 3 phases of the ball. That would be offense, defense, special teams. There's the 4th. And say what you want. Every week we hear the coaches say, we've got to coach better. I got to tell you, Daryl, inside of the last 4 minutes of the game, I'm pointing that game 100% on play calling and mistakes that the coaching staff made on this one. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, that fourth quarter, Andy, in which the Browns picked up 1 first down.
The game needs someone like Shedeur right now. Someone who brings that mix of composure, edge, and silent confidence that makes the sport feel electric again. He's not out here begging for validation. He's demanding respect just by showing up and doing what he does best. Every snap, every throw, every calm look under pressure reminds everyone that greatness doesn't scream, it shows. Meanwhile, Dillon's name is still trending, but for all the wrong reasons. The same fans who were hyping him up last week are now dissecting his every move, searching for answers that aren't there. And the more they talk about what went wrong for him, the more they realize what's been right about Shedeur this whole time. That's the beauty of it. One man's downfall becomes another's elevation, and Shedeur didn't even have to say a word. The chatter's growing louder by the hour. Is he next? Is he ready? The truth, he already is, because Shedeur Sanders doesn't chase the moment, he creates it. When others fold under the weight of expectation, he turns it into fuel. And now, with every camera lens, every mic, and every headline turning his way, it feels inevitable. Like the stage has finally caught up to the player who's been ready all along. So yeah, if this week proved anything, it's that hype fades fast, but real talent, real poise, that never goes out of style. And right now, Shedeur Sanders is showing the entire game what staying power truly looks like. So yeah, while Dillon Gabriel's debut game is going down in history as a masterclass on what not to do when the lights are brightest, Shedeur Sanders is out here quietly plotting his next statement performance, the kind that doesn't just win fans, but builds legacy. The kind of game that makes the whole world sit back and realize that sometimes failure doesn't close a door, it kicks another one wide open. And that door, oh, it's swinging straight toward Shedeur's path, because in football, hype fades fast, but results stick. Dillon had the spotlight, but Shedeur's got the shine. One stumbled when the lights came on, the other glows under them like he was born for that moment. And if history's taught us anything, it's that when preparation meets opportunity, the result isn't even close. Shedeur doesn't need permission, he doesn't need validation, he just needs that ball in his hands. Once he's got it, you already know what comes next. Another highlight, another viral clip, another reminder that this is his era. So let the internet keep looping Dillon's bloopers all they want. Shedeur's too busy writing his sequel, one touchdown at a time. The narrative's changed, the stage is set, and the story's clear. The crown's not given, it's earned. And right now, Shedeur's about to earn it all over again. If you enjoyed this wild ride, Make sure to like, subscribe, and share the video. It helps more than you think. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. See you on the next one.